hottest spy TV series you can't afford to miss. Secrets, hidden identities, and choices that leave permanent marks sit at the heart of every strong spy story. Some begin with chaos, others with silence, yet each one reveals a quiet truth. Danger often grows where nobody thinks to look. This countdown travels through 20 memorable espionage series, each showing a different corner of the intelligence world. Certain stories follow agents moving through tense operations, while others stay inside meeting rooms, government offices, and secure facilities where information alone can change outcomes. The journey opens with stories that feel immediate and personal, then moves toward narratives shaped by authority, memory, politics, and long-term consequences. The Punisher, Season 2, centers on a man pulled into a concealed conflict he never wanted. Frank Castle protects a young woman whose past attracts powerful figures determined to keep secrets buried. Protection soon becomes pursuit, and that pursuit reveals surveillance systems, hired killers, and covert activity that operates outside formal structures. The season places emotional strain at the center, showing how espionage often intersects with people already carrying deep scars. That personal focus continues in Hannah, Season 3, where a trained operative turns toward the organization that created her. Hannah enters the system searching for answers and the right to control her own life. Missions reveal other young operatives still trapped in the same structure, which shifts the story toward questions of identity, choice, and personal freedom. Action remains present, yet the deeper impact comes from watching someone take back control of her story. A different perspective appears in The Recruit, Season 2, which follows a young CIA lawyer drawn into situations far beyond his role. Owen Hendricks faces foreign assets, fragile deals, and sudden danger that replace predictable office work. The series presents the untidy reality of intelligence work, where uncertainty is constant and quick decisions carry lasting effects. Humor softens the tension without removing the sense of risk. Modern conflict becomes quieter in The Undeclared War, Season 1. The story unfolds through cyber conflict, data review, and interpretation rather than physical confrontation. A young analyst joins a team working to understand digital interference during a national election. Small irregularities slowly connect into something larger, showing how unseen threats shape public life. Intelligence becomes a race against time rather than a visible confrontation. Historical weight shapes Ghosts of Beirut, which follows a long pursuit across years. Agencies cooperate, share partial information, and continue despite slow progress. The series highlights how counter-terrorism relies on patience and persistence. Emotional impact grows through time, reminding viewers that success in intelligence rarely arrives quickly. A more personal portrait emerges in The Spy, where an ordinary man adopts a deep-cover identity that reshapes every part of his life. Relationships become both opportunity and danger. Silence becomes protection. The series explores the psychological strain of sustained deception and the loneliness that accompanies it. Real history strengthens the emotional impact, giving each decision weight beyond the immediate moment. Suspicion moves inward with The Assets, which focuses on a search for a mole within the CIA. Investigators track subtle clues that slowly reduce trust among colleagues. Routine behavior begins to appear uncertain. Cold War tension frames the story, while the emotional core lies in relationships under pressure. Espionage appears as careful investigation rather than dramatic confrontation. Trust remains fragile in treason, where past decisions disrupt leadership. Inside MI6, personal history collides with professional responsibility, forcing characters to reassess loyalty. The narrative moves with urgency, yet its impact develops through shifting relationships and uncertainty about motive. Authority does not provide safety, it often increases exposure. Group dynamics return in Blind Spot, Season 5, where encoded tattoos finally connect to larger threats. Long-standing mysteries move toward resolution while new risks emerge from within the team. Cooperation remains necessary even when doubt persists, showing how intelligence teams operate while carrying unresolved history. Coordination defines the brave, where field teams teams rely on analysts who monitor risk from a distance. Communication connects both sides of each operation, turning information into the most valuable asset. The series emphasizes sacrifice, showing how success often depends on people whose work remains unseen and unrecognized. Leadership enters the narrative in Designated Survivor, Season 3, where intelligence briefings influence national decisions. President Tom Kirkman faces threats that require balancing ethics with strategic necessity. The story shows how classified knowledge shapes public outcomes and demonstrates that espionage operates within governance as much as outside it. Diplomacy takes on a covert dimension in The Diplomat. Season 2. Conversations carry tension equal to field operations because each discussion contains hidden motives. Kate Weiler navigates global relationships that appear stable while pressure grows beneath the surface. Influence becomes a strategic tool, expanding the meaning of spy storytelling beyond physical action. A younger viewpoint appears in Alex Rider, Season 3, where a teenager moves between ordinary life and covert missions. Family history shapes Alex's understanding of the intelligence world, and experience develops through risk rather than instruction. Classic spy elements remain, yet emotional stakes keep the story grounded in personal growth. Reflection shapes The Old Man, Season 2, which follows a retired operative confronted by unresolved history. Past identities return and force choices tied to earlier actions. The narrative explores legacy, showing how intelligence work continues to affect lives long after missions end. Memory becomes a source of tension alongside present danger. Historical examination deepens in The Looming Tower, where rivalry between agencies influences responses to emerging threats. Analysts recognize warning signs, yet institutional barriers slow cooperation. The series highlights how intelligence breakdowns can arise from structure rather than intent. Awareness drives the tension as viewers understand the stakes before solutions appear. Scope widens in Jack Ryan, Season 4, which blends field operations, political pressure, and investigation across multiple regions. Ryan uncovers corruption within the system itself, forcing decisions about loyalty and responsibility. The series reflects modern global espionage, where alliances shift and threats cross borders. Isolation defines Tehran, Season 2, where an operative remains inside hostile territory after a mission changes direction. Survival depends on adaptability, cultural awareness, and moral decisions without clear answers. The story presents covert survival as a constant test of judgment rather than preparation. Stylish infiltration shapes The Night Manager, Season 2, where an undercover operative enters networks connected to the arms trade. Refined environments conceal dangerous transactions, reinforcing the idea that risk often hides behind privilege. Progress depends on patience, trust, and careful performance. Psychological complexity reaches a different intensity in Killing Eve, Season 4. The relationship between investigator and assassin becomes central, shifting the story toward obsession and unpredictability. Humor appears alongside tension, creating a tone that challenges traditional boundaries. The series explores identity through confrontation rather than closure. The countdown concludes with Homeland, Season 8, a defining modern espionage drama. Carrie Matheson returns to work while questioning her own reliability, placing perception at the center of every decision. Political negotiation, field operations, and personal struggle intersect, producing a conclusion shaped by ambiguity, responsibility, and sacrifice. These 20 series show how spy television has changed over time. Early narratives focused on visible action and clear opponents, while recent stories explore psychology, politics, and technology. Analysts, diplomats, and leaders now share narrative focus with field agents. Real events continue to influence fictional storytelling, strengthening emotional impact. The enduring appeal of spy series comes from secrecy itself. Hidden motives invite curiosity, and unexpected revelations reward attention. These stories reflect concerns about surveillance, influence, and information, while allowing audiences to explore them through narrative distance. The genre works because it combines thriller, drama, politics, and character study into a single experience. Viewers drawn to visible action often gravitate toward Jack Ryan, Hannah, and Alex Rider. Audiences interested in psychological depth may connect with Killing Eve, The Spy, and The Old Man. Those fascinated by political tension frequently prefer Homeland, The Diplomat, and Designated Survivor, while grounded realism appears strongly in The Looming Tower and Ghosts of Beirut. Modern espionage storytelling explores identity, responsibility, and power rather than simple mission success. The strongest series leave space for questions that remain after the final episode. Secrets rarely end when an operation closes, and consequences continue shaping lives long after. Which spy series stayed with you the longest, and which one should appear in the next countdown? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe for more thoughtful television deep dives, and return for the next story waiting just out of sight.